and welcome to another video. In today's video, I am making a demand for reparations for all laws that were based on racism and or lies. So when you go back in history to try to figure out where the whole slavery thing originated, and as far as like the African Americans that were brought to America. Now, as far as my research has determined, there was some guy, I believe in Portugal, who wanted to basically, make some money easily off, slave labor. So he had this other dude write an article talking trash about Africans. And this opened the door to slave trade, right? In a very short amount of time, right? You can do your own research, right? So, fast forward and, the Civil War happened and the slaves were supposed to be freed immediately and given 40 acres and a mule. I believe that was the deal. But then Lincoln got killed. And that whole deal got squashed. And then Jim Crow era. And fast forward, now we're going to come into the first ever laws against substances were, I believe, 1902. And this is for cocaine. And this law is based on racism. And I've actually read the Senate transcripts. And they use the N word and the R word. And we don't want these N's R'ing our white women. All hopped up on this cocaine. I mean, this is literally like, if I was to dig around in here, everything's so stored, I could find the articles that I read, because I have them still. This is one of the few things that I have left. I don't know exactly where they are. But then in 1903, the same kind of verbiage again, but now it's with Chinese folks and heroin, okay? So this is the beginning, all right? So those laws were based on lies and racism, all right? So they should immediately be repealed, because having laws based on lies and racism is effing stupid, all right? All right. So fast forward, and we all know the history of prohibition, alcohol prohibition, right? Boy, that was a brilliant plan. I love how it gave us all the organized crimes and murders and just all this stuff, right? Okay, well, some might say that was intentional, because how then does the government respond is by creating these militarized police forces to squash, this stuff, right? Well, it didn't work. Okay. So now fast forward, and we get a liar, which is the man, probably DuPont himself, and he wanted to push his new product, nylon, which nylon had a direct competitor in hemp. So they, being the DuPonts and factions within the government, move to criminalize hemp and weed and everything, just all in one swath, all right? Now, they immediately had to go back on that in World War II because they needed the damn hemp, because the nylon production wasn't there yet, okay? So now, fast forward, and Nixon, which, is basically the godfather of the modern drug war, okay, he is on tape. And I hope to add that tape audio right here saying that we're going to go after this because they're liberals, they're blacks, right? So there's no medical justification, there's no scientific justification, there's only a political motive based on lies, okay? And look what it's done to the world. Millions of people killed. Millions of people's lives thrown in the toilet. Millions of people's properties and belongings stolen by governments around the world. People tortured, people killed, people imprisoned for life, all behind lies and racism. Okay? So, and this the current era of legalization needs to just be everything. All these laws need to be completely taken out and just yanked out like a cancerous virus would be out of your body, just ripped out, okay? Because it has turned the laws, the lying, racist laws created by just slimeball humans, has created such a giant nightmare. The drugs, I mean, if everybody in the whole entire planet all OD'd at once, it would be less of a big deal than the drug war has been, to be honest. So what we have now is fascist, militarized police forces just running amok, stealing people's things, killing people, maiming people, throwing people in prison, all based on lies and racism, okay? So I'm demanding not only that all this stop, you end the drug war, you just yank those garbage laws out and throw them in the trash and all the agencies that are connected to them. And you're going to pay everybody reparations as well. The lineages of slaves, they need their 40 acres and their mule, whatever that equates out to today, but it quite literally should equate out to that today. And everybody that's a victim of all these lying, racist laws, myself included, I knew marijuana was a medicine, but the government wanted to lie and say it had no medical value. And I'm like, yeah, okay, we'll see about that. And then they stuck me in their gulags, and I didn't even go to the worst ones for 7 years, okay? I want my 7 years back, all right? And I want DuPont's whole entire company to be nationalized, taken away from the DuPonts. Because if I remember right, didn't the DuPonts have like a kid or something that went on? I might be confusing it with somebody else, but I seem to remember that like their kid went on to kill people or something like evil, like, oh gee, so your piece of shit ancestor made up a lie so he could push his product, and then his ancestors turned into be murderous sociopaths. Doesn't surprise me in the least, because people who want to tell other people how to live their effing lives are the trash. That's the bottom line. Get out of my life. I've never been a drug addict. I've never been addicted. I smoke a lot of weed over the years and probably drank too much booze, but I just have partied infrequently, here and there, here and there. I see people that go too far. But just to merely say, if you ever want to do this substance in any situation, you're some kind of junkie or, is ignorant, moronic, and is destroying the damn planet, really. Because if you think about the drug, from the United States, draw a line down to Colombia, and every single country in between has just had nightmarish results from this, okay? Then you go over to East India. You just go around the world, and our United States drug policies being pushed on people around the world has turned whole entire countries into S-holes, okay? We did that. And the reparations need to go there as well, all right? And it needs to come out of the DuPonts. It needs to come out of all the other corporations that enriched themselves on the frickin' military industrial prison complex. That's where the money can come from. So slaves getting paid. Everybody's getting paid that did any time, because technically I was a slave, because that's how the Constitution is written, saying that everyone is everyone's free unless you've committed a crime, and then you can be a slave. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what it says, right? So, which is, again, some racist, horrible, bigoted, it's a stupid effing law. I don't give a shit if it's in the Constitution or not, right? The Constitution isn't the greatest thing in the fucking world if it used to call certain kind of people not even whole people, okay? So, yeah. Now, the slaves, everybody that got to be a slave through these lying racist laws. That's how you make the definition. If you went out and fucking broke into somebody's house and stole their shit, you're a piece of shit. If you fucking robbed something or stole something or beat somebody, that's all fucking this. Those laws are what everybody wants. Everybody wants the people that are beating people up or robbing from people to be punished. Nobody gave a fuck about some people partying until fucking people were using it for racist, political lies, bullshit, okay? And how can we have a society with any respect for the government when the government has just gone on these tangents based on lies and turned entire countries into assholes and turned entire subsections of the population into like non-American, human, subhuman, the drug war had nothing to do with the drugs, had everything to do building the police state that is now just running amok, killing people, beating people, tasering people, because they got all that money from the drug war. They got all that zero respect for the constitutional rights of, you can't come on my property and steal my shit, bro. Oh, unless you have a fucking plant on your property or a substance on your property. Now your constitutional rights go flush, and this whole fascist machine can come in and just take whatever they want, okay? So it ends now. And now I'm taking my own reparations, okay? I want my 7 years back. And not only me, all the descendants of slaves, they get that 40 acres and a mule, and what I get is my time back, okay? And what everybody in my same situation gets is their time back, okay? Right out of the DuPont's butthole. Peace.